Hello Zenith women, and welcome to the channel. The scariest monsters are the ones that lurk within ourselves because they don't even know they're monsters. Sigma females don't stalk shadows or haunt abandoned mansions, but their quirks can feel just as chilling, at least to those on the outside looking in. Known for their fiercely independent, enigmatic personalities, Sigma females navigate life on their terms. But here's the kicker. They sometimes do things so eerie, so unintentionally unsettling, that it's as if they've been cast as the mysterious anti-hero in someone else's psychological thriller. Did you know that studies suggest humans instinctively fear unpredictability because it triggers our primal survival instincts? Well, the Sigma female doesn't just thrive on unpredictability, she is unpredictability personified. She vanishes without notice, reads people with unnerving precision, and stares like she's cracking the code to your soul. But here's the twist. These behaviors aren't calculated. To her, they're second nature. To others, well, let's just say a few sleepless nights might be involved. Let's peel back the layers and dive into the 10 things Sigma females do that are so delightfully creepy. It'll leave you questioning if you've ever been on the receiving end of one of their unintentional mind games. Number 1. Mastering the art of silent staring. Sigma females have an unnerving habit of staring, and they don't even realize how intense it looks. It's not the kind of stare that's blank or bored, it's sharp, focused, and unwavering, like they're peeling back layers to see what's underneath. They could be lost in thought, replaying a conversation, or analyzing something completely unrelated to the person in front of them. But their gaze feels intentional, almost surgical. The effect is startling. Most people instinctively look away or fidget under that kind of scrutiny, but Sigma females hold eye contact without breaking a sweat. What makes it even creepier is the silence. They don't fill the air with chatter or give clues about what they're thinking. Instead, they just observe. To the person on the receiving end, it feels like being studied by someone who already knows too much. Are they judging, plotting, finding flaws? The truth is, they're probably just daydreaming or mentally solving a problem, but their intensity doesn't let on. This habit isn't about power or intimidation. It's simply how they process the world. They absorb details others overlook, picking up on subtle facial expressions or body language cues. To them, it's just being present in the moment. But to everyone else, it's unsettling, like being caught in a lie you haven't even told yet. The most baffling part? They're completely unaware of the effect they're having. While others are squirming or overthinking what that stare means, the Sigma female is likely just zoning out, oblivious to the chaos she's unintentionally stirring. It's not malicious, it's just her natural way of existing in a world that rarely operates on her wavelength. Number 2. Vanishing without warning. Sigma females have an uncanny ability to disappear without a trace, and they do it so effortlessly that it can feel downright eerie. One moment, they're mingling at a party or engaged in a conversation, and the next, they're gone. No goodbyes, no explanations, just an empty space where they used to be. It's not that they're trying to be rude or mysterious. It's simply their way of preserving energy and avoiding unnecessary social obligations. But to those left behind, their silent exits can feel more like a ghost vanishing into thin air. What's unsettling is how deliberate it seems, even though it's entirely instinctive. Unlike people who linger at the door or announce their departure with fanfare, Sigma females have no interest in drawing attention to themselves. They value their autonomy above all else, and when they're ready to leave, they just leave. For others, this abruptness can feel like rejection or even suspicion. Were they bored? Did something happen? Are they plotting something in the shadows? Their disappearing act also creates a sense of unpredictability. You can never quite pin them down, and that alone keeps people on edge. Most are used to social rules, where farewells are polite and expected. But Sigma females don't play by those rules. They slip away when they've had enough, like they're stepping into another dimension, where small talk and long goodbyes don't exist. This behavior, while harmless to them, often leaves others replaying conversations, wondering if they said something wrong or missed a cue. The truth is far less dramatic. They simply need their space, and when the moment strikes, they take it. Yet the abruptness of their departure lingers in the air, leaving people with an unshakable feeling of unease. Number 3. Asking unnervingly personal questions. Sigma females have an uncanny ability to ask questions that cut straight to the core, and they do it without even realizing how unsettling it can be. While most people stick to safe surface-level topics, they bypass all the fluff and dive into deeply personal territory. They'll ask things like, "Why do you think you're unhappy in your relationship?" Or "What's the one thing you regret most in life?" Questions that most people aren't prepared to answer on the spot. What's even more disarming is the way they ask, calmly, with genuine curiosity and zero hesitation. To them, it's not about prying or being invasive. It's about seeking substance. They don't have the patience for small talk or shallow exchanges. If they're engaging with someone, they want it to mean something, to reveal something real. But to others, it can feel like being caught off guard, as if they've just been seen through in a way they didn't consent to. The directness of their questions forces people to confront truths they may not even want to admit to themselves, let alone share with someone else. What makes it creepier is how naturally it comes to them. There's no malice, no ulterior motive. They're just wired to probe deeper. They might not even notice the discomfort they're causing because they see the exchange as meaningful, not intrusive. But for the person being questioned, it can feel like an emotional ambush. Afterward, people often replay those conversations in their minds, unsettled by how much they revealed or how vulnerable they felt. Sigma females aren't trying to make anyone squirm. They simply crave authenticity, yet their unfiltered curiosity and ability to peel back layers with a single question can leave others feeling exposed, as though they've accidentally revealed too much under the spotlight of her quiet intensity. Number 4. Reading people like open books. Sigma females have an almost supernatural ability to read people, and it's both fascinating and unsettling. They don't rely on obvious cues like words or actions. Instead, they pick up on the subtle things most people miss: micro-expressions, tone shifts, body language, or even the pauses between sentences. To others, it feels like they can see right through the masks people wear, exposing truths that were never meant to be revealed. What makes it even creepier is how quiet they are about it. Sigma females don't announce their observations or call anyone out. They just know, and that knowledge sits with them like an unspoken power. Someone could be spinning a lie or pretending to be confident, but a Sigma female will notice the slight hesitation in their voice or the way their eyes dart away. Without a single word, they've already figured out what's really going on, and they're not afraid to let their expression show it. What unnerves people the most is how effortless it seems. To the Sigma female, it's second nature, like reading a book that's wide open. They aren't trying to intimidate or manipulate. They're simply hyper-aware and deeply intuitive. But to others, it feels invasive, like they've been stripped of their defenses without even realizing it. This skill, while unintentional, leaves a lingering effect. People often feel uneasy around Sigma females, wondering just how much they've been exposed. Did she catch that lie? Does she know my secret? The answer is probably yes, but she won't say anything unless it serves a purpose. Her silence isn't malicious. It's just her way of navigating a world where most people are less honest than they appear. Still, the knowledge that she's quietly decoding everyone around her is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. Number 5. Predicting events with shocking accuracy. Sigma females have an uncanny ability to predict events with a level of accuracy that borders on eerie. It's not magic or some psychic gift. It's their sharp observation skills and knack for connecting dots that most people don't even see. They notice patterns in behavior, subtle shifts in tone, or even the smallest inconsistencies in a situation, and they use that information to draw conclusions that almost always turn out to be correct. What makes this ability so unsettling is how effortless it seems. While others are still piecing things together, the Sigma female has already worked out what's going to happen, and she's rarely wrong. She might casually predict that a colleague will quit before the end of the month, or that an argument at dinner will spiral into a breakup. And when it does, people are left wondering how she knew. Her insight feels less like intuition and more like some kind of sixth sense. It's not just the accuracy of her predictions that unnerves people. It's her timing. She doesn't announce her thoughts loudly or seek attention for her foresight. Instead, she'll drop a quiet comment or keep her predictions to herself, only for the events to unfold exactly as she expected. By the time others realize she was right, she's already moved on, leaving them questioning just how much she knows about things they can't even see coming. This habit can make people uneasy. It's hard to hide anything from someone who seems to have all the answers before the questions are even asked. For the Sigma female, it's not about control or showing off, it's just how her mind works. But for those around her, her ability to predict the future with such precision is both awe-inspiring and at times a little unnerving. Number 6. Fixating on strange or morbid hobbies. Sigma females often find themselves drawn to hobbies and interests that others might consider odd, morbid, or outright unsettling. They aren't content with the mainstream or mundane. Instead, they gravitate toward the strange and unexplored. Whether it's collecting antique medical tools, studying obscure conspiracy theories, or reading up on unsolved crimes, their curiosity seems to have no boundaries. What makes this fixation even creepier is how deep they go. A Sigma female won't just skim the surface, she'll immerse herself completely, learning every detail, uncovering every dark corner and emerging with knowledge that's both impressive and a little unnerving. She'll casually mention the history of Victorian death photography or explain the mechanics of a 19th century poison with a level of enthusiasm most people reserve for talking about their favorite TV show. This fascination with the macabre or unconventional doesn't come from a place of morbidity for its own sake. It's about understanding the parts of life that others shy away from. Sigma females are endlessly curious about the human experience, especially the parts people don't talk about. But to outsiders, this intense interest in the dark or bizarre can feel like a glimpse into a side of her that's difficult to understand, maybe even a little eerie. Her hobbies can also create an air of unpredictability. While others might collect postcards or learn to bake, she's cataloging obscure folklore or mastering ancient cipher codes. People may find themselves wondering, why is she so fascinated by this? What does it say about her? To the Sigma female, it's just another way of exploring the world. But to those around her, her fixation on such unusual topics adds a layer of mystery that's both captivating and at times a little haunting. Number 7. Showing zero fear in dangerous situations. Sigma females have a rare ability to stay completely composed in situations that would send most people into a frenzy. Whether it's a crisis at work, a heated argument, or even a genuine emergency, they remain eerily calm, as if chaos doesn't register the same way for them. While others are shouting, panicking, or scrambling for solutions, they're standing there, analyzing the situation with a quiet intensity that feels almost inhuman. This unshakable calmness can be unsettling to those around them. People often mistake fearlessness for detachment, and with Sigma females, the line between the two is razor thin. It's not that they don't feel fear, they simply process it differently. Instead of reacting impulsively, their brains kick into problem-solving mode, shutting down emotional responses to focus entirely on logic. But to outsiders, it looks like they're emotionally disconnected, like they're observing the chaos from a distance rather than living through it. What's even more unnerving is that they don't just handle dangerous situations. They seem almost drawn to them. Whether it's stepping into a conflict others avoid or volunteering to solve a problem no one else wants to touch, they exude a quiet confidence that's as intimidating as it is inspiring. Their ability to remain unflinching in the face of danger makes people wonder, do they ever feel anything? The truth is, Sigma females feel everything, they just don't show it. Their calm exterior hides a mind racing to assess risks, make decisions, and navigate the storm without letting it consume them. While this makes them invaluable in high-pressure situations, it also creates a sense of mystery, leaving others unsure whether to admire their bravery or fear their unyielding control. Either way, their calm under pressure leaves a lasting impression that's impossible to ignore. Number 8. Appearing out of nowhere. Literally. Sigma females have a knack for appearing out of nowhere, and it's as unsettling as it is impressive. They move through spaces with an almost ghost-like quietness, slipping into rooms or conversations without making a sound. One moment, someone thinks they're alone, and the next, there she is, calm, composed, and already observing everything like she's been there the whole time. It's not a deliberate attempt to scare anyone, but it happens often enough to feel intentional. Sigma females are naturally low profile, and they don't feel the need to announce their arrival or demand attention. This quietness, combined with their tendency to avoid drawing focus, makes them seem like they materialize out of thin air. It's the kind of subtle presence that leaves people startled, sometimes even questioning how long she's been standing there. What makes it even creepier is how unaffected they seem. They'll stroll in as if nothing happened, completely oblivious to the startled gasps or widened eyes they've caused. Their lack of reaction only heightens the eerie vibe. Was she listening? Watching? How did she even get there so quietly? It feels less like an accident and more like she's mastered the art of blending into the background until she chooses to emerge. This habit creates an atmosphere of unpredictability. People never quite know when she'll show up, and that uncertainty adds to her mystique. Whether she's walking into a meeting or casually joining a group at a party, her ability to remain unnoticed until the exact moment she wants to be seen leaves people unnerved. For the Sigma female, it's just another way of existing in the world. But for those around her, it's like being in the presence of someone with an uncanny, almost otherworldly gift. Number 9. Disappearing into their caves for weeks. Sigma females have an uncanny ability to disappear without warning, vanishing from social circles, work groups, or even family gatherings for days, sometimes weeks, without offering any explanation. During these absences, they go radio silent, leaving no trace of their whereabouts or what they're up to. For those left behind, this sudden withdrawal can be deeply unsettling. Friends, colleagues, and even loved ones start to wonder if they've done something wrong, if the Sigma female is angry, depressed, or even if something sinister is unfolding behind the scenes. The silence can feel like an unanswered question, a void that's impossible to fill. What makes it even more unsettling is the lack of any overt sign that something is wrong. There's no dramatic announcement or explanation, no grand reveal of why they've pulled away. The Sigma female simply retreats into her cave, a metaphorical and sometimes literal space where she can recharge, reflect, and reconnect with herself. For her, it's not a sign of trouble or emotional distress. It's an essential part of her existence. The truth is, these periods of solitude are necessary for the Sigma female to function at her best. Unlike others who thrive in constant social interaction, she needs space to process, think, and find balance. It's not about avoiding people or rejecting the world, it's about resetting. But to anyone on the outside looking in, it can seem as though she's slipping into some kind of emotional abyss, and they're left wondering when or if she'll return. In a world that thrives on constant communication and connection, the Sigma female's silence is almost a form of rebellion. Her absence isn't a personal attack. It's a deep, quiet need to recharge and recalibrate. And while it can create a sense of unease, it's also what allows her to be the focused, independent force she is when she reemerges. Number 10. Loving isolation, but appearing mysteriously lonely. Sigma females have a unique relationship with solitude. They thrive in it. They're perfectly content spending long hours alone, whether it's reading, working, or simply reflecting on life. Unlike others who seek constant companionship to feel fulfilled, they find peace in their own company, and often consider it an essential part of maintaining their mental and emotional well-being. They don't need external validation to feel complete, and that independence is both admirable and, to some, a bit unsettling. What makes it even creepier to outsiders is how this solitary existence can appear. From the outside looking in, the Sigma female's preference for isolation can seem like something more troubling. People often wonder, is she hiding something? Does she feel lonely? Her ability to remain so composed and self-sufficient while being so physically alone makes others question what's really going on behind the scenes. There's a quiet intensity in her solitude that can lead others to believe she's not just enjoying her time alone. She's concealing some deep pain or perhaps a dark secret that she refuses to share. In a world that often equates solitude with loneliness, the Sigma female's peaceful isolation can look more like a cryptic mystery. Her ability to remain content in a state of apparent loneliness invites speculation. Some might even assume she's struggling emotionally, hiding her true feelings behind the quiet, unspoken spaces of her life. The truth is, she's simply recharging, processing, and living life on her own terms. But to those who don't understand the value of solitude, the mystery of her contented isolation can leave them wondering if there's something more, something darker, lurking beneath the surface. In a world that thrives on noise, connection, and constant validation, Sigma females stand as quiet enigmas, navigating life by their own rules. Their behaviors, often misinterpreted or misunderstood, seem almost supernatural to those around them, like they've unlocked a secret code to existence that others can only catch glimpses of. Whether it's their chilling ability to predict outcomes, their haunting silences, or their effortless way of blending into the background until they choose to emerge, Sigma females don't just exist, they carve their own paths with quiet confidence. But perhaps what makes them most captivating is their unapologetic independence. They don't need the validation or approval of others to feel complete. While many of us are wired to seek comfort in social interactions, Sigma females retreat into their own spaces to recharge, process, and emerge stronger. And in a society that often mistakes solitude for loneliness or strength for detachment, they remain an elusive puzzle, one that continues to fascinate, disturb, and intrigue. In the end, the creepy things Sigma females do aren't about malice or hidden agendas. They're simply the result of a different way of being. And maybe, just maybe, the mystery of it all is what makes them so extraordinarily compelling. So, the next time you encounter a Sigma female, don't rush to judge or label her behavior as strange or off-putting. Instead, take a moment to step back, observe, and perhaps even appreciate the complexity of someone who is comfortable existing entirely on their own terms. If you found this insight into the mysterious world of Sigma females intriguing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more thought-provoking content. Share this with your friends, because let's face it, who doesn't love a little mystery in their life? And we'd love to hear your thoughts. So leave a comment below and join the conversation. What do you think about the unique ways Sigma females navigate the world? Let's discuss. Thanks for watching and bye.